Okay, so now we know the anatomy of the airway. We know how to get the tongue out of the way by doing either a jaw thrust or a head tilt chin lift. Well, what happens if the tongue's not the main obstructing thing in the airway? What if it's blood or vomit or secretions or food or something else gross in there that's caused the blockage? Well, that's why we have a handy dandy suction. This is called a Yankauer sucker. You can see there's a specific bend to the Yankauer suction, which lets you get past the tongue, into the back of the oropharynx, and down even into the larynx when you're intubating someone. And you can suck up anything in there that's liquidy. You're not going to get a whole steak out of there, obviously, but it should suck up most secretions and vomit, and that's the most common things you'll find obstructing the airway. Alright, so we'll put that over there. Let's just jump over to the suction on the wall just to see how we can switch it on. To use the suction, turn the suction on the wall. Once it's on, you should hear a loud sound, which we don't have available here, so I'm just going to make some sound effects instead. The Yankauer suction should already be attached. Sometimes there's an inline suction attached, so make sure you've got the rigid Yankauer instead. And once you've got it ready, we'll jump over to the mannequin for the next section. We can start sucking. The important part of the Yankauer suction is that it's a rigid pipe, so make sure you're not sticking it somewhere too soft because you'll cause trauma. But the other thing is, you can see there's a nice bend. And we were just talking about how the airway has a bend in its anatomy. So this happens to be very, very useful in following that natural curve. So if you connect it up to the suction, make sure the suction's on at the wall. It's a fake wall, so it's not going to actually be sucking. So we're just going to put some sound effects in. And instead of blindly just shoving it in places and causing a lot of trauma and bleeding, we're going to take a nice surgical approach. So look at the patient's mouth, open the mouth, visualize what's going on inside. Is there a lot of stuff that you need to clear out? Is there a lot of liquid? Is it something solid that you need to scoop out with your finger? If it's liquid that you can suction, introduce the Yankauer gently into the mouth, causing no trauma by carefully avoiding the teeth, the tongue, the cheeks, and all the other soft, squishy things. And gently follow the tongue into the back of the mouth, following the curvature. You don't want to go this way, you want to go this way down the tongue. And go suck up all the nasty stuff in the back of the mouth. Alright, let's do a recap and we'll go to a simulated resus scenario to see how suctioning works in action. I've got some secretions and vomit in there, so I'm just going to do some suctioning. Suction's on. Yep. I'll let you know when I'm ready to get breath. Holding suction.